We might just say this, that the Master, having controlled his body, his muscles, his mind, his emotions, even under any adverse condition, you will not see any change in his presence. Another thing is the eyes do not wink all the time, but are still, because he's focused in the Christ consciousness within. Those are one or two things. But the main thing is, no matter what you bring to them, what adverse news or conditions, they will not move. They might for a moment just shake a little, but then they get hold of themselves and you cannot shake them. I remember one time, you've heard me tell the story, that I came to the Master with a serious situation had arisen, and I came to him and told him, and I thought he'd feel like I did. But he didn't. Didn't bother him. Didn't move him. He was unmoved. He didn't show a thing, any restlessness, because he had controlled those functions of the mind of restlessness and such things. Then when I got through, I said, "Sir, I wish I had your control. I wish I had your conviction. I wish the assurance of God was with me like you." He says, "Remember, the same Father who protects me protects you. He is our common Father." Now, only a Master can give you the realization of that assurance. After that, I felt it and realized that that was so. And so in closing, one other thing, and then I'm through, is this, that Masters, remember, do miracles only with God's sanction. That's the important thing. People are always expecting Masters to do miracles. But that's not the way of God. Even Jesus, as you know in Matthew, said that he could summon 12 legions of angels if he wanted to, and he could, because God was with him as the Christ conscious. But he said, "I will not, because it is not my Father's will." And before the cross, you know, he went and he prayed. He said, "Father, if possible, allow this cup to pass from me, but thy will be done." Isn't that wonderful? That's the sign of a true Master. And in the Master's case in India, he went there. There was someone dying or had practically passed away, and they asked him to come in, wanted to come in. Finally, he went, and the person lived. So I said to him, I said, "Sir, but when you went in, you knew it was God's will." He said, "Yes, sir, I never would have gone in." The person lived. So, true teachers, true Masters, act and do things only when God says, "All right, go ahead." That's the only way. He is the sole doer. He can do it like that if he wants to. If it isn't his will, you can't do a thing. Men propose, but God disposes. Man proposes, God disposes. So every true Master knows that more than any other person, because they are the epitome of humbleness and desire to do God's will. And in closing, I want to read just a word or two from one of the Master's letters to me back in 1925, which will show to you the true character of a Master, the true attitude which a true Master has. And I know it'll help you in deciding the true Masters that you will meet or have met in your life. He says, "There was perhaps a time when I tried to do good things to earn good opinion. But now life has offered me a new proposition. I do good things not goaded by the compelling whip of duty, but with the sense of privilege. As God's child created in perfection, nothing is due from me, or I have no duty. My only privilege," remember he calls it a privilege, "my only privilege is to please God and make use of right discrimination and sympathy in carrying out his will. I like to do good to others because I have found in that doing good the highest joy." There's no joy like being an instrument of God, because you can give a person something then. If you can give them a little bit of the Holy Ghost, Look at their faces. Look at them. They change before your eyes. Such is the power of God. I can do good to others in the sunshine of fame or in the darkness of adverse criticism. Serve I must. See the attitude? We're fussing and fuming because we have to wash dishes and make beds and all that thing. But what does the Master say? Serve I must. Rain or shine, serve I must, for that is my joy. That has been my life, and I value all life's experiences. Meditate unceasingly. Meditate unceasingly. That's the only way to directly reach spirit, with love and blessings always. Yours, Swami Yogananda. You see the attitude of a true master. Remember these few things. The greatest is to know a true master because he is a real man of God. If you cannot perceive that through ordinary senses and intellect and mind, still the waves of the mind, and your heart will tell you when you are in the presence of a man of God.
In order to profit from these practical teachings in a meaningful way, which will have a definite and tangible impact in your life, we suggest that you subscribe to the Self-Realization Fellowship's home study course on the science of yoga. Please visit the SRF on the web at yogananda-srf.org or call the SRF's Mother Center in Los Angeles, California at 323-225-2471.